Question number 1. In equilibrium, a perfectly competitive firm will equate MR with MC. MR will be equal to MC in the perfectly competitive firm, which means marginal revenue will be equal to marginal cost. As we know, in perfect competition, market sets the price and single firm adopts the same price. So for a single firm, equilibrium condition is the one where AR is equal to MR is equal to P is equal to AD is equal to MC, which means where MC is equal to MR. That's the answer. Question number 2. In the long run equilibrium, competitive firm earns normal profit because there is free entry and exit of the firm, which means if the firm will earn supernormal profit, the other firms will also try to enter, and if the firm will earn loss, the other firms will try to exit. So in the long run equilibrium, competitive firm earns normal profit. Third question, the surplus earned by a factor other than land in the short run is referred as quasi-rent. Fourth question, wage fund theory was propounded by J.S. Mill. J.S. Mill said that wages mainly depend upon demand and supply of labor, or the proportion between population and capital available. Fifth question, according to stages of returns to scale, under decreasing returns to scale, the change in the proportion of inputs is greater than the proportionate change in outputs, and the distance between the isoquants keeps increasing. Under decreasing returns to scale, the change in the proportion of inputs is greater than the proportionate change in the outputs. The distance between the isoquants keeps on increasing. Sixth question, the difference between the price a customer is willing to pay and the price he actually pays is called consumer surplus. So consumer surplus is the area below the demand curve and above the price. We can see the red colored area, that is consumer surplus. Seventh question, which of the following is considered as a determinant of supply curves? Production technology is the answer. Production technology will shift the supply curve. If producers require better technology, they can produce more output with the same number of input. This translates into a supply curve that lies farther to the right, more output produced at any price. So if the production technology is more, the supply curve shifts to the right. If the production technology is less, the supply curve shifts to the left sides. Eighth question, which of the following is not an economic problem? Deciding between different ways of spending leisure time is not an economic problem. So what our economic problems are as follows: deciding between paid work and leisure, deciding between expenditure on one good and the other, deciding between alternative methods of personal savings. Here are some more economic problems which you can go through. Ninth question, in the ordinal approach, consumer is in equilibrium when slope of budget line is tangent to the slope of indifference curve. So equilibrium is where the budget line touches the higher IC. The higher IC would be the middle one. So A would be the equilibrium point. We cannot touch E because it is out of our budget, and C and D are at lower IC. So A would be the equilibrium point. 10th question, the sufficient condition for two commodities for consumer equilibrium is that IC must be convex to the origin. So indifference curves are convex to the origin, but there are some exceptional cases. Like in perfect substitutes, the IC is linear. 11th question, if elasticity is equal to infinity, demand will be perfectly elastic. See the first graph, that's relevant to the question. When the demand is perfectly elastic, elasticity is equal to infinity. So here price is not changing, only quantity will change. And when there is perfect elasticity, the demand curve is horizontal. Now see the other case, the second graph. When the demand is perfectly inelastic, elasticity is equal to 0 and demand curve is vertical to the origin. 12th question, in long run, usually price elasticity of demand is more elastic. In long run, it is more elastic, that means the demand curve will be flatter. And in short run, it is inelastic, that means the demand curve would be steeper. 13th question, market demand is defined as sum of individuals' demand in the market. Graphically, individual demand curves are summed horizontally to obtain the market demand curve. 14th question, total expenditure of the consumers of purchasing particular commodity is equal to the total revenue of the firm selling the particular commodity. Total revenue is equal to price into quantity. Last question, isoquant shows all possible combination of two factors of production, labor and capital, to produce a given level of output. In isoquants, we have factors of production like labor and capital. In IC's indifference curves, we have two commodities.